Before we get into today's update and play the intro, I just want to give you a quick overview of what's to come. The CPI data was released today, and as I was talking about yesterday, it came out hotter than expected. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P are down a little bit. NASDAQ down 23, S&P down 9, and Dow's down 134 points. Crypto is relatively flat right now, but we'll go over the numbers, and we'll also go over what James K. Phelan said about XRP, or the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. And just his quick statement that he made via Twitter, and I'm just going to show you so you can stay up to date. Make sure that like button, and I would implore you, go watch last night's update that has about 500 views. More people should have watched, but because it was over a 20-minute video, not many of you chose to. But it had over 10 minutes on average of watch time, which was one of the best videos I've ever had, as far as the viewer staying glued to the computer. So I appreciate that. It means a lot to have over 10 minutes per person watching the video. But more of you need to watch it because I telegraphed exactly what was going to happen this morning with the CPI, and it was one of the best updates I've ever done. So make sure to hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it as you help push me through the analytics super quickly, and more people can get into the viewing space. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you after the intro. Good morning, 9:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As we start this Tuesday morning of trading, we've got a lot of ups and downs here as the Dow's down about 107 points. See the NASDAQ down about 8 points. Got the DXY at 103.174. And on this uptrending resistance as of right now, was unable to push back up. So now we're going to watch and see exactly how this pattern plays out. I would have liked to have seen it break a little bit higher and tap this, especially if it was a rejection point at 104.25. But with the CPI coming out, a lot of volatility. We went all the way down to 102.60. But now you see we made a healthy recovery, about 55 cents, 56 cents on the dollar. So we'll see what happens here. And that looks like, man, it's real shaky right now. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. Total crypto market cap to start today. We're up about 1.12%. We started to move a little bit here. We held the 200-day here. We haven't had the bearish divergence yet, or the death cross in the total crypto market cap in the 4-hour time frame. That's what we're attempting. In the 4-hour time frame, we are attempting a death cross, and that's the 20-day moving across the 200. So if you're ever wondering what the death cross is, that's one way to interpret it using the exponential moving averages. Once that 20-day moves through the 200, you're in shitsville. Right here. You're looking for that red line to cross the blue line. That's it. Once that crosses it, it's a bearish divergence, and or you can call it a death cross. The 20 crossing the 200 is a death cross. That's the 20-day, which is the shortest moving average that I'm using. Crosses over the 200-day, which signifies a trend reversal. So that's what we need to look for. And that's what I'm watching. So the total crypto market cap, you're looking for that. And to reverse this, you need to get back over 990 billion. So we're going to have a 16 billion move still. So it's going to have to be like a 30 billion up day if we want the total crypto market cap to change. But as you can see, it's popped off here in the last couple, since the CPI a little bit. We've got Bitcoin over 22K. We've got XRP up to 37.41. And then we ask, well, what's going on? Exactly what's supposed to happen. We didn't break this downtrending support at 3660. Again, I telegraphed this last night. Showed exactly what would happen if 3660 does end up holding. And how we would have to break back over the 20-day after a move up. And then possibly, if you can break past this, you could maybe push the 382 again. But that's going to take a little bit of work here. And then in order to break out of here, we've got to break over some levels now. We're going to have to get over here, first of all, up to like this 406 level for XRP. Other than that, the 406, you've got right below that at 396. and then right above that at 408 or 409, you could say, but we're stuck within here now. We're stuck. We haven't even been able to hit our falling channel areas. Are we in a descending triangle, which is the overall pattern? We're definitely in a descending triangle. There's no debate about that, because this pattern goes pretty far back where this starts. And you can go all the way back up to here, all the way to May of 2021. So that's a multi-year pattern right now. If we want to call it a descending triangle, downtrending resistance, downtrending support. We're hugging the downtrending resistance. Weren't able to break out of it. And we have this underneath last ditch effort at 333. But if you break that, I mean, you could legitimately come way down. And that's why we're paying attention to both sides. But at the same time, like we always talk about, this manipulation's strong. They're not just here to take out the shorts or the longs. They're here to take you both out. That's why leverage trading is very difficult and tricky, and why I would recommend, unless you're a very advanced trader, that you stay with the spot trading. Some people say I'm going to do the futures trading to build on my spot trades, my spot portfolio funds. The only problem with that is most people that do that lose their spot trading funds. Then you're shit out of luck, because then you can't even buy your XRP or your favorite crypto, your favorite tokens, because you got no money left because you spent it all futures trading trying to get lucky. It's a very tricky game out there, folks. You better know what you're doing before you start doing the futures. If we look at this in the bigger time frames, this is the 2020 uptrend at 333, approximately 334, wherever you want to do it. But we need to break this before we can start to contend with that 2017 uptrend, and that's down at 18.4. And then if I pull this out just a little bit, you can see the grand patterns that we're dealing with. So this is what we're looking at, and we've been very shaky for a very long time, but we've yet to break that uptrending support that would lose us this area of support and would ultimately transfix us down to that 18 cent, sub 20 cent level. That's our next major area if we break the 333 and then ultimately the 286, 287, depending on where you have it. So that's the best way that I can put XRP. Now let's take a look at what James K. Phelan said real quick, and then we'll take a look at the CPI. So just very brief by James K. Phelan on Twitter. He put scheduling update, SEC versus Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, January 19, 2023. Everything is briefed. Now we wait. So that's all that he put out there. No other nonsense. So that's the update. Everything's briefed. And now we wait patiently for a very long time. And now the aforementioned CPI report. So the consumer price index rose 0.5% month over month in January, a tick higher than the 0.4% expected, and a jump from the 0.1 increase in December, which was revised from minus 0.01. So there wasn't even an increase in December. I told you that number was bullshit when they put it out. Now they've revised it, and we actually had a 0.1% decrease month over month in December. So take that for what it's worth. The biggest contributor to the increase was shelter, accounting for almost half of the monthly gain. Oh! You mean food and shelter? Food and gas rose? What a shocker. Food and gasoline and natural gas also contributed to the rise. No! You mean we can't live without natural gas and food? And gas? Oh, whoa. Shocker. I'm so shocked. The year-over-year increase at 6.4%, though it was the smallest month increase since October 2021, still it came in higher than the 6.2% expected and 6.4% prior, revisited from 6.5%. And now I love this one. Excluding food and energy, which you can't do because everybody has food and everybody needs energy. We all have to eat and heat. The core CPI rose 0.4% month over month compared with the 0.3% gain expected and 0.4% prior, revised from 0.3%. So again, last month they tried to say it was 0.3% rise, and it was in fact a 0.4% rise. They can't get anything straight. They lie to you month over month, and you guys continue to eat it up and lose all your money in the markets when you shouldn't even be trading. These are terrible reports. There is no sign that the bottom is in. In fact, this is a sign that we're topping. That this was all bullshit. That this run was pushed on false narrative. Shelter, motor vehicle insurance, recreation, apparel, and household furnishing and operations all rose during this month. The indexes for used cars and trucks, medical care, and airline fares decreased in January, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said. Because who's buying fucking used vehicles? Who's getting medical care? And who's going on airlines if they don't got any money? If you don't have any money, you're not going to get medical care. You can't afford to buy used vehicles. And for God's sake, you're not going on an airline. Those are all... Year-over-year core CPI climbed 5.6% versus 5.5% expected and 5.7% prior, and representing the smallest 12-month increase since December 2021. I wonder why that is. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because inflation's gone up the fucking roof or out the roof. It can do nothing but slow down a little bit. Nothing's getting better, though. The numbers are still worse. The January report shows the inflation is still persisting in the disinflation process that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell described at the Fed meeting earlier the month. Still has a long way to go to get inflation down to the central bank's 2% goal. We will never, mark my words, we will never get back to sub 2%. Or 2%. Never. It's never happening. Before that happens, we will rid the US dollar and we'll go digital. It is what it is. So that's the CPI. All this other shit is nonsense. All you need to know is the CPI rose. They were expecting it to decrease, which it did not. Inflation's getting worse. Costs for food, energy, gas, living expenses are higher. So you got to make an educated and informed decision not to listen to these tools. And one thing I did notice on YouTube is a lot of people are starting to say about the FUD stops. That FUD stops here started here. I love seeing it around YouTube, but if they're going to stop the FUD, they better not speak the bullshit and put the no FUD underneath it. I will be calling people out that do that. So pay attention if you're watching me. And that's an influencer. If you're watching me using the no FUD, you better be putting out no FUD. If you put out bullshit, you will be put on blast. Or just don't use my no FUD. That's all. XRP, like we said, 376. We're making a little bit of a push here. We already know the zones where XRP could possibly move to. So, is this concerning us? No. Are we paying attention to see if this continues what we were trending in the last couple of days? Absolutely. But now we need to pay attention because now we're going to get a lot of traps here today. 200 days at 3770. That's a typical move in the 30-minute. Even if this is a bearish pattern, that would still be a typical run-up to get rejected. We ultimately need to get up above 386 and ultimately push this approximately 40 cent area and break out of it. So that's what we're looking at today. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to trade like I do, or join Tom's Army, which I wouldn't expect anybody to. It's been very, very slow. I know I'm a truth giver, so most people don't like that. But hey, I embrace my role because somebody's got to do it. So if you want to join Tom's Army, video description below or then the pinned message below. If you want to trade XRP like I do in the USA, no excuses, no spot fees on the buy or sell. You can do it on MEXC. Or you can do it on BITGET. You just need a VPN if you're a new user. And then there's also UPHOLD, just high spot fees. Hashtag the FUD stops here. And remember, be better, do better. Hashtag be better, do better. And help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what is the point of all of this? If I'm lying to you, what the hell is the point? If I'm telling you bullshit and FUD just so you buy something that's not meant to be bought, or you sell something that you shouldn't, why? Just pay attention to each update and make an educated and informed decision. It's up to you, and only you, not no influencer, to take control of your portfolio.